Yeah, it's really surprising in this day and age. We all know menopause care is absolutely an essential, but the reality is that if you're a woman in BC who's seeking to have a conversation about menopause care, it can be incredibly difficult for people to access the care they need. We've taken a really important step by covering the cost of hormone therapy, but medication alone is not going to close the gap. There's some really significant things that we need to make sure that all family doctors and all physicians in general have the supports they need to deliver the care patients deserve.
Well, what do you hear from family doctors on that?
So I think one of the main things for people to know is most of us actually didn't get any training about menopause care in medical school. I only finished medical school 15 years ago and I received zero training. And I'm a family doctor and my practice right now focuses on women's health care. 41% of medical schools have no inclusion of menopause education in that's shocking to me. Residency training programs for family medicine don't consistently provide clinical experience. And so, unsurprisingly, doctors don't have the knowledge that they need to deliver consistent care. And that results in delays in treatment. And that needs to change.
Wow, and there's also this often a reference to old information and old studies around HRT and cancer risk. How much does that guide prescribing practices?
Absolutely. So, of the people that did receive any information, most of that information was guided by a research study from the Women's Health Initiative. And more recent evidence and more recent review of that study has shown that that information was incorrect. But if people don't have that knowledge and information, how can they be delivering the care? And so many family doctors are still under the impression that it might be harmful for patients to have hormone replacement treatment. So that really speaks to the important role that research has in this. And sadly, we know all women's healthcare remains sadly under-researched, and that's even more so when it comes to menopause and midlife women's health.
So, what's being done now to address those gaps?
Well, we know that in most medical schools around the country now, there is a significant push to strengthen education, both for medical students who might go into any specialty, because whether you're a family doctor, a gynecologist, or a plastic surgeon, this is a major stage of life for almost 50% of the population. So every doctor needs to have some knowledge and base in this information. For family physician training programs around the country, consistent clinical experience remains a gap. And that really is going to take some work to actually find enough physicians who have the knowledge in this to deliver care in countless medical schools across the country. But we need to do it, right? Patients need and deserve this care.
What are uh, practically speaking, what does the province need to do? Medical schools here in BC, what do they need to do?
So I think all of us need to name this as a priority. It's a priority for me as a woman, as a patient who myself is in perimenopause, and it's a priority for me as a physician. So I'd like to see this embedded in all of medical education. That's something that we can have a conversation about with the Ministry of Advanced Education, right? That this is actually essential for physicians. We have a Minister of Health and a Ministry of Health right now that are deeply committed to women's health care. We see like BC is leading the country in providing free hormone therapy. Well, how do we close that evidence gap? We need to make women's health research a priority, not just in how we talk about it, but how we invest in it. And that is work that happens in places like BC Women's Hospital, the Women's Health Research Institute, and other really important centers across the country. We need to put our money into saying women's health is a priority.